Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and today I'm joined by
Steve.
Green.
And we just finished playing Noch Mal, which is a roll and write essentially. So you can see you've got a bunch of dice here, and when it's your turn, you take all these dice and you roll them, and you get to pick one of the white dice and one of the black dice. And in general, the white dice represent the colours. You can see I can pick pink, yellow, or that's pink again. Or the numbers, obviously, you've got to pick a number with it. So I can pick a 2 or a 3. And then it corresponds to this complicated little sheet here, which is more straightforward than it seems. Essentially, you've got lots of little spaces here which you can potentially cross off. This is the end of the game, so you can see I've crossed lots of this off in different colours. So if I wanted to, I could take the pink 3, and that would mean I could cross off 3 pink squares. So you can see there's a little group of pink 3 here. What you cross off has to be connected to something else you've crossed off, or the centre row. You kind of start at the centre, and you can cross off any of the ones in the centre. But if I go for the pink 3, I have to cross off exactly 3 pink squares that are next to each other. So I couldn't cross off less than 3, and they also had to be next to each other. So I couldn't kind of cross off 2 here and 1 somewhere else or anything. So that can make it quite restrictive in terms of what you cross off. Now you're racing when you cross these things off to effectively complete columns. The first person to complete a column gets a certain number of points. You can see 3 here. If anyone else manages to do it, so in this case, column L, I think it is, was completed by somebody else, but then when I completed it, I got 2 points. So you're getting less points if you complete it second, so you're racing to kind of complete them first, but also you're racing to complete the colours. The first person to complete all of one colour gets points, the second place will get third points, etc. There are also some wilds which are quite helpful. So if you roll the question mark, that can be any number you want, and if you get the black side, that can be any colour you want. But you've got a limited number of these question marks. You kind of cross them off as you use them, but they obviously can be very helpful. The game ends when somebody manages to complete all of 2 different colours, and then you're counting up points for, as I say, the different things you've been crossing off. But every star you can see here is worth minus 2 points at the end of the game if you haven't crossed it off. So you really want to try and cross off as many stars as you can. You add up all your points, and most points wins. What do we think?
It looks confusing initially, and then you think once you've got the idea of how to fill in a sheet in, it looks really simple, but it's not. There's a bit to think about, and you've got to cross things off in a way that kind of maximises your options. What you don't really want to be doing is on other people's turn when they're leaving you dice, you don't want to be in a position where you can't take anything. So you kind of don't want them to be able to do you in. So keeping your options open is good. But if you keep your options open, kind of spread out, you're not completing any of the columns. You're not completing necessarily the points of people. And you can see people. Kareem just says, "Oh, I've just completed column D and E, I'll cross those off." And Jonathan completes, H and I, I'll cross those off. And I'm not completing the columns if I get my options open. So you've got to kind of balance it. You've got to balance crossing off the stars. You've got to kind of balance when you take the wild cards. So the wild number and the wild colour, they're really important. So if you use them all early, you're hindered for the rest of the game. You just don't have that option. But it'd be really good if I took it now. Yeah, would it be worth kind of doing it? Because anything you don't use at the end of the game is worth points as well. So if you manage to go throughout the game and not use those wild cards, they're worth points as well. And the winning score isn't that high. The very first game I played this, I scored 0. I did very badly. But the winning score is never really many more than 20. So if I can finish a game with 4 wildcards, that's 4 points, and that's actually quite a large portion of my final score. It's a good thing. It's a good one, right? In terms of on someone else's turn, you've got stuff to do.
Yeah, in fact, I didn't quite mention that, but if I were, for example, to take the pink 3 here, I remove those dice, and then everyone else gets to pick 2 dice from what's remaining, and they're not blocking each other. So Steve could take the pink 2, and Kareem could take a 3 pink because that's wild, and they're just picking from what's left. But I am denying everyone else by the choice that I make on my turn.
So although you've got something to do on someone else's turn, they've also got something to do on their own turn. You think, well, I've got a choice of 2 things to take here, but which thing can I take and do other people in? Oh, I can't do Jack in. Oh, brilliant. Kareem can't take any of them if I take this green dice. Or if I take this 5, he can't actually take any of the rest of it. And that's quite a nice thing to be able to do.
Okay, Jack?
Yeah, I think as far as roll and write goes, it's interesting in that there's more player interaction than usual in the way that when you are filling up your spaces, sometimes you might forgo filling up the best space for you right now. If you take a certain choice of dice, that really means that no one else can make a move at all, or they're forced to have, say, 2 greens and 2 twos. All they can do is use a green 2, which is quite fun to do. The other thing about it is it fills you with a lot of regret if you make the wrong choice. There's a lot of hindsight going on in this game, that if you cross off one of your wildcard markers and then you realise, and then you roll at the next turn and you're like, oh no, I've just wasted that, a complete waste. And but yeah, I feel like it is good. I liked it.
Okay, Kareem?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what's been said, and I do really enjoy that there are a lot of different paths to this. I've played quite a few games of this now, and we've had quite a few different winning scores. This game that we just played was quite low compared to the ones that I had in past games. Sometimes people will rush to fill the colours, and that if you get the dice to do that, that's a really good idea. But sometimes the dice don't line up, and people will start to catch you as they fill the rows up. Like you said, a lot of there's a lot of taking what other people need, and I played in a game recently where someone took the only dice, so there was 4 wilds on the table, so two wild colours and 2 wild numbers, and so someone took the only non-wild number and colour, which forced us to either take nothing or spend 2 of our wild cards, which is incredibly frustrating to do because you don't want to skip a turn, but no, like Steve said, that's 2 points off the board just to have a turn, and doing that sort of thing is really good.
Rating?
I would probably give it an 8.
Okay. Jack?
Probably give it 7.
It's probably got the most interaction of any roll and write. So if you want interaction in your games, this is the roll and write for you. I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's really solid. I would agree with all the comments, really. There is a lot of, the more you play, you're thinking about everyone else's sheet as well. And it's simple enough that you can do that. It's not too thinky, but each time the dice are rolled, you do sit there kind of thinking, oh, I could use this one, but maybe I should do this one. You can kind of hedge your bets with that one. But what are they going to take? If they take that one, I'll be done in here. So it's nice. There's plenty to think about. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. All right, thanks for watching. That was Noch Mal.